Bhageshri ma'am, are you there?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Can we take the permission from the ma'am to begin the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anjali ma'am, will you please allow us to begin the session?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Very good morning. Diya and Nikhil, you are requested to please begin the session. And Lippy, you please turn on. Means presenting को आप please off mode पे रखिए. Can you please begin, Diya?
Yes, Nikhil. Nikhil, will you start?
Please begin.
Psychology is much larger than curing mental illness or curing disease. I think it's about bringing out the best in people. It's about positive institutions. It's about strength of character. Says renowned pioneer of positive psychology, Dr. Martin Seligman. Good morning, everyone. I, Nikhil Dabas.
And I, Riya Buttal.
Welcome you all on the second day of National Conference on Positive Psychology and Education. I would request my fellow Ms. Riya to commence the session with an introductory note.
Thank you, Nikhil. Good morning, everyone. As you all must be aware that the theme of this session is positive education for students and teachers. So the field of positive psychology at the subjective level is about positive experiences, our well-being, optimism, and flow. Positive psychology helps us to document what is result in healthiest children, what work environment and support gives the greatest satisfaction among workers, what practice will result in development of positive individuals in the school, and what policies result in the strongest civic commitment. So without much delay, let us begin and understand this concept with greater detail.
Thank you, Riya. It was quite impressive and qualitative opening. Now we would welcome the chairperson, Dr. Anjali Shaukin, faculty at School of Education, Guru Gobind Singh, Indraprasth University, Delhi, along with Dr. Poonam Sharma and Ms. Bhageshwari Sharma, faculty at BLMC, New Delhi, as co-chairperson for today's session.
I request Dr. Poonam Sharma to acquaint us all with the chairperson of the session.
Thank you, Riya, and thank you, Nikhil. Nikhil, please mute yourself better. I request you. Good morning, one and all present here. My name is Dr. Poonam Sharma, and I'm working as an assistant professor at BMCE. It's my privilege and pleasure on behalf of Bhavan's family to welcome all of you on this second day of National Conference on Positive Psychology and Education. The family of BLMC is honored to have the women of virtue and simplicity, Dr. Dr. Anjali Shaukin, with us today for chairing the technical session 4 on positive education for students and teachers. I, along with my colleague, Ms. Bhageshwari Sharma, extend a wholehearted welcome to Dr. Anjali Shaukin. BLMC family is immensely encouraged and motivated by your gracious presence, ma'am. And I assure that all of us will definitely get benefited by the practical wisdom which is going to be shared by Honorable Chairperson of today's session. I also take the opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all the scholars and academicians of renowned universities, institutions. I wish all 6 papers which are going to be presented, presenters will definitely radiate a source of energy within all of us through their presentations. I also feel excited to welcome faculty members and students of BLMCE. Before initiating technical session, I feel elated and highly privileged to introduce venerated luminary on the screen, our session chairperson, Dr. Anjali Shaukin. Let me allow you to please share the screen just for a while. Dr. Anjali Shaukin is working as an assistant professor in the University School of Education at Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi since 2013. Ma'am has rich experience of more than 15 years of teaching and mentoring at graduate, postgraduate, and doctoral levels. She has supervised more than 40 MA dissertations. Her areas of interest includes educational guidance, counseling, educational technology, research methodology, and educational management and administration. Dr. Anjali has developed e-content under PMMM NMTT, that is Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Training, MHRD sponsored for the School of Education, Central University of Punjab, Bhatinda, Punjab. Ma'am has also developed content for Department of Education, IUCE, the Maharaja Saiji Rao University of Baroda. She is a member of the Curriculum Revision Committee of Accountancy at NIOS and also a member of the Open Educational Resources Committee constituted by NCERT, New Delhi. She has been invited in various capacities in professional development programs at institutional and university levels. Ma'am has published more than 20 research papers in national and international journals. She has also presented several papers at national and international conferences in India and abroad. Like the University of she has also presented several papers at national international conference in India and abroad, like the University of Malaya, the University of Sri Lanka, King Monker's University of Technology, the University of Barcelona, and many more. It's indeed a difficult task to share her whole profile within limited time. There is a lot more in her bag of accomplishment. And before I hand over to Ms. Ria Buttan and Mr. Nikhil, I want to say once more, on behalf of BLMCE, welcome. It's wonderful to see so many of you here. I wish this technical session help all the participants to expand their mental horizon towards positive psychology. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Poonam.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank you for giving me such an honor. Just want to say that I'm just like you only. I think it's not, you are not supposed to use the word honorable. I'm not so big. I'm just like you only. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anjali ma'am.
Yes.
Ria, please unmute.
Thank you so much, Anjali ma'am. We are honored to have you here today. Nikhil.
Thank you.
Nikhil? Nikhil, is there any problem on your part? Please invite him.
Yeah, I'm here only. I'm here only, Dr. Poonam.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. You may please, ma'am, begin the session. Oh, sorry, please call the name of the presenters one by one in a proper. Okay.
We welcome all the research scholars and presenters. We are grateful to have you all here today. Before commencing the session, we would like to notify that each participant should share his or her screen while presenting and is allowed around 10 minutes for presentation. All the presenters are requested to keep their cameras on while presenting. Everyone is requested to adhere to the limit, and we will have a questioning round at the end of the session. Now, first, we would like to have Mr. Avik Kumar from BVB Vidya Ashram, Gujarat. The title of his paper is Psychological Happiness of Students. Sir, you are requested to go ahead with the session.
Please call his name again, Nikhil.
Alok.
Mr. Alok Kumar from DVV Vidyashram, Gujarat. Sir, you are welcome. We are requested to go ahead with the session.
Okay, if he's not here, you may please call the next caller. You may please call the next caller. I think he has not joined the session. Please
Okay,
call
ma'am.
the next.
Yes, yes. I would like to call Miss Poonam Pandita, Miss
Yes,
Chetan,
just a
and
second. Just a second, Ria.
Yes.
I think in chat box, somebody has written Dr. Alok Sharma.
they have called out his name only, ma'am.
Acha, okay. Oh,
Yes. He can wait. He can present later then.
yeah.
Okay,
In the meantime, you can call the next one.
yes, ma'am. I would like to call Ms. Poonam Pandita, Ms. Chetna Suri, and Mr. Sachin Kumar from Central University of Jammu, JNK. Their topic of research is life skills education, a holistic outlook. We welcome you.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Chetna.
My screen is visible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm Chetna Suri, teacher educator, Department of Educational Studies, Central University of Jammu. First of all, I want to thank the organizers for giving me such an opportunity to present my paper under title Life Skills Education of Holistic Outlook. This paper is a joint paper and co-authored by Mr. Sachin Kumar and Poonam Pandita, teacher educators, Department of Educational Studies, Central University of Jammu. Firstly, I want to say I'm from the South Kashmir. Sorry if I got disconnected in between. Okay, I start.
पूनम मैम, may I intervene you? आप ना बस ऊपर जाकर टॉप पर जहाँ आपका एरो शो हो रहा है ना, आप प्लीज
Yes,
उस प्रेस कीजिए तो आपका फुल स्क्रीन एंड आप अपने फोन को हॉरिजेंटल मोड में प्लीज रख लीजिए. अपने फोन को हॉरिजेंटल मोड में प्लीज रखकर और जो ऊपर आपका यस मैम.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am. In this new millennium, education is undergoing a revolutionized change regarding science and technology, globalization, privatization, urbanization, and industrialization. Today's youth are facing many emerging issues such as global warming, famines, poverty, suicide, population exposure, as well as social, emotional, physical, and psychological issues. Cutthroat competition, unemployment, lack of job security are some of the major concerns of the educated, and as a result, they are caught in the mad race. No one has time for his or herself to develop empathy with surrounding and to have harmony in society. If we talk about young minds are being considered as the most productive members of the society due to their physical and intellectual capabilities. But in real scenario, most of them are unable to utilize their potential in an appropriate way due to the lack of guidance and motivation. Social problems like alcoholism, drug abuse, sexual abuse, smoking, juvenile delinquency, antisocial acts, etc., has an adverse effect on them, and that is on the large extent. If we talk about the review, according to Albertine, the life skills training enhance critical thinking abilities, which further impacts while living life actively, being responsible in the job and in future planning too. Ramesh and Farhad, 2004, in his study proved that the effectiveness of the life skills training in increasing mental and physical health, pro-social behavior, and decreasing in behavioral and social and self-destructive days. Pushp Kumar 2013 in his study showed that life skills training was effective in preventing a wide range of problems such as substance abuse, teenage pregnancies, violence, bullying, and to promote self-confidence and self-esteem among the adolescents. Life skills education. If we talk about UNICEF, life skills are behavior change, our behavior development approach designed to address balance of the three areas. That three areas are knowledge, attitude, and skills. The world bodies such as UNICEF, UNESCO, and WHO list the 10 core values, 10 core life skill values. These are self-awareness, critical thinking, creative thinking, decision making, problem solving, effective communication, interpersonal relationships, empathy, coping with stress, coping with emotions. Life skills have been classified in three categories, that is, thinking skills. Thinking skills are skills that enhance the logical faculty of the brain using an analytical ability, thinking creatively and critically, and developing problem solving skills and improving decision making abilities. If we talk about social skills include interpersonal skills, communication skills, leadership skills, management skills, advocacy, team building skills, etc. If we talk about emotional skills, these involves knowing and being comfortable with oneself, plus self-management, including managing coping with feelings, emotions, stress, and resisting peer and family pressure. Imparting life skills in education. Life skills education in classroom. We have some methods, such as first we talk about classroom discussions. Classroom discussions enables the students to deepen their understanding of the topic and personalize their connection to it. Next, we have brainstorming. It allows students to generate ideas quickly and spontaneously. Role plays. These provide an excellent strategy for practicing skills, experiencing how one might handle a potential situation in the real life, increasing empathy for others and their point of view, and increasing insight into own feelings. Groups are helpful when the time is limited as it maximizes students' input. Educational games and simulations. It promotes fun, active learning, and rich discussions as participants work hard to prove their points and earn points. Next, we have analysis of situation and case studies, storytelling, and debates. A relevant and proper implementation of life skills is a need of an hour for today's society. Imparting life skills education to the students can be helpful as it specifically addresses the needs of the children, helps in motivating and providing practical and cognitive, emotional, social, and self-management skills for the life adjustment. Yadav P. Iqbal, 2009, showed positive results of imparting life skills education to students and bringing the change in adolescents' attitude, thought, behavior by providing supportive environment to them. On the whole, life skills education have found to be an effective psychological intervention strategy for promoting positive social and mental health of the adolescents, which play an important role in all aspects such as strengthening coping strategies and developing self-confidence, emotional intelligence, as well as enhancing critical thinking. Problem solving and decision making skills have been well documented in the aforementioned studies. Thus, there is a significance and importance of life skills education to be integrated into the regular school's curriculum and given on the daily basis by the life skills trainer, teacher, counselor, and to enhance the mental health of the students, equip them with the better adapted skills to face the challenges of the changing life situations, and empower them to become fully functioning contributors to the host society in particular and the world in general. In the light of above discussion, it can be concluded that life skills has its importance and significance in the overall development of the students. Our findings are common to the findings of Botwin and many more, suggesting like life skills program as a good supportive system for adolescents. If we talk about the future implications, many studies have done on the life skills, but yet this is a very vast area and more research is needed with the robust findings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very insightful presentation on the importance of life skill education in our field.
Just
Before we proceed further, I would like to re-announce the rules for today's session. All the participants are requested to share their screens while presenting and should turn their cameras while presenting. You are all requested to not go beyond the time limit of 10 to 12 minutes each presentation. And please adhere to the time limit. Thank you so much. We can proceed now. Nikhil.
okay, Ria. Yes, Bhageshwari. I just want to ask whether we can discuss once the presenter completes the presentation, or we put all the questions at the end of the session. What do you suggest?
Ma'am, it's up to you as you wish. We had actually thought of taking all the questions at the end, actually.
Okay then.
It's okay if you want to take up the questions now.
If you want to do question and answer session immediately after the presentation, then we can continue with that also. It's your choice what you suggest, ma'am, because you are chairing the session.
Yes, then it's fine. Actually, what I thought, it is convenient for all of us because we have just listened, we have just seen the presentation. So whatever the things comes in our mind, sometimes it happens at the end of the session, like after 1 hour, it will go from our mind.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think no, if the session is open for any discussion, or you want to ask any question from Chetna. Chetna, good presentation.
Chetna ma'am, please आप अपना कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए. Turn on your camera.
Hello.
Chetna ma'am, will you please turn on your camera?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from the South Kashmir. If I'll switch on my camera, my voice will straight.
Okay, just okay, fine then. Fine.
It's okay. Yes, participants, you are requested to ask any question if you want to ask.
First of all, you need to raise your hand, and after that, you should please continue with that. Please raise your hand if any one of you wants to ask anything. No question?
I think there are no questions.
Yes, ma'am.
So please excuse me for a second.
Actually, I wanted to ask. Ma'am, you are muted.
You have the option of raising hand. Please raise your hand.
Ma'am, I'm not seeing any option on the screen actually.
Okay, just raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. Yes, please ask. Please ask.
Chetna ma'am, what's the scope of life skill in Indian education system? As we know, it's not included till now in the curriculum.
May I answer?
Yes,
Hello,
please.
Nick.
Yes, please. You are also a part of, I think, this same.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
think
Yes,
it's
sir.
a collective paper.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So Sachin, yes, you can answer.
ओके हम अभी अपनी जो हमारी अभी जो नेशनल पॉलिसी आई है, अगर हम इसके फ्रेम को ड्राफ्ट करें तो वहां पे हमें स्किल एजुकेशन की बात की है. तो स्किल एजुकेशन की बात हुई होगी जब वैल्यू एजुकेशन की बात हो रही है, क्योंकि जो स्किल्ड है वो हमें कहीं ना कहीं हमारी वैल्यू एजुकेशन से ही आएंगे. जैसे सपोज हमारी नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में बोला है कि अगर किसी के जो पेरेंट्स हैं वो फार्मर हैं या किसी इंडस्ट्री में लगे हैं, तो क्यों हम उनसे एक वर्कशॉप ऑर्गेनाइज किया जाए जिससे स्टूडेंट्स को पता चले कि ये छोटे काम होते हैं, ये कैसे होते हैं. तो आई थिंक हमारे इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इंडियन सिस्टम में ये वैल्यू एजुकेशन चीज स्टार्टिंग से ही है.
Yes, sir.
Good, Sachin. So you have well related with the policy also, and this just one came in my mind that this policy is also focusing on the experiential learning,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
है ना? And
Yes, ma'am.
so that's good. So I think that is also the life skills education when we talk about. So somehow it is also related with that.
Yes, ma'am.
So Chetna, Sachin, and Poonam.
Poonam
So
Pandit.
I congratulate you for your paper, the well paper. You have Chetna has raised well points that the young people, they are facing so many problems these days, and for those children, I think the life skill education is something which can play an important role,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that they may not face the such kind of problems which are prevailing in our society.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's great. I think it's over for the Chetna, and we can begin with the second presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
And my one suggestion also, Chetna, Sachin, you just do the research also. I think this your presentation is more conceptual, so you need to do any research on this field also, so that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are familiar with the ground reality, that what is happening in the schools and how the life skills education is imparted in the schools. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Now you can call for the second presentation. The second presenter.
Now we would like to invite Professor Vandana Goswami and Rekha Bagra from Banasthali Vidyapeeth, Rajasthan. The title of their paper is The Role of Positive Psychology, Self-Confidence in Teacher Preparation. The platform is all yours, ma'am.
Good morning. I am Rekha Bagra, research scholar from Banasthali Vidyapeeth. I am Hindi medium student, but I tried to मैं अपना आर्टिकल इंग्लिश में प्रेजेंट करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. ठीक है, मेरा टाइटल है द रोल ऑफ पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी एंड सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस इन टीचर प्रिपरेशन.
रेखा,
यस मैम.
आप जिस भी लैंग्वेज में कंफर्टेबल हैं, आप उसमें अपना प्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं.
Okay, ma'am. I will try.
There is no language barrier.
Okay, thanks, ma'am.
Ma'am, please turn on your camera also. Rekha, ma'am, please turn your camera.
Yes, ma'am.
And I request you to please choose F5 command और please यहाँ पे full screen आपकी visible हो, ऐसा please.
Positive psychology is a broad field that utilizes a variety of techniques to help a person realize and develop positive aspects about their life and their selves. Positive psychology can be described as the study of why people excel, achieve, and flourish. According to many positive psychologists, the purpose of this practice is to help people find happiness. While some might think that happiness is a vague term that cannot be properly evaluated, many theorists believe that it can, in fact, be measured using different qualifying factors than typical in the psychological discipline. Self-confidence. Self-confidence refers to the trust a person has in his ability and judgment, which enable him to express his knowledge and opinion freely, no or little difficulties. Self-confidence others, including a person's temperament, society, and culture, educational level, wealth, trends of success and failure, etc. Aim to develop their knowledge of the subject matter they teach. If this is English, teachers can study the language to further their understanding of how it works. They can enroll in language development courses, and they can seek opportunities to practice and develop their ability to listen to. Read, speak, and write in English, for example, by not missing the opportunities they have to interact orally with native speakers. Secondly, theories about learning and teaching. Teachers should also aim at deepening their understanding of the theories underpinning learning and teaching practices. This can be achieved by reading about teaching and learning, attending seminars and workshops regularly, and enroll on methodology courses, which will enable them to reconstruct their knowledge of the background to language learning and teaching. The more teachers know their student, the more effective their teaching will be. Teachers can get to know the student better by giving them opportunities to talk about themselves, really listening to what they have to say, encouraging them to give teachers feedback on anything and everything that happens in the classroom, showing a real interest in them, and above all, by teachers just being themselves. Next, the workplace. It is important that teachers know the context in which they work very well. This involves academic aspects such as syllabus, assessments procedure, and knowledge of the supplementary material they can count on, as well as more practical concerns like the use of audio, video, or computer equipments, self-confidence, teaching ability, and skills in addition to knowing about the subject matter. Theories of learning and teaching. The student and the workplace teachers should aim at improving their ability to put all this knowledge into practice and becoming more skillful at teaching. This can be achieved by having a daring and exploratory attitude towards teaching, which involves trying out different methods, techniques, and activities again and again, reflective of their effectiveness and capitalizing on these experiences in order to make the necessary changes to their teaching habits. Self-awareness can be raised in a number of ways. Self-awareness can be raised in the self-awareness can be raised in the number of ways. Teachers can make audio or video recordings of their lessons and watch, analyze, and reflect on the records. They can invite colleagues to sit in while and ask them for feedback after the lesson. Observing others teach can be very enlightening. It helps teachers different teaching styles, practices, etc. become more aware of teachers they are or they are not. And with very valuable feedback on their performance, implementing instance for the collection of the kind of can be very valuable. Teachers can benefit for whatever evaluation is implemented at their workplace if they regard it
Rekha ma'am, your voice is not audible to us.
I think it's a technical glitch. network issue is there.
Yes, ma'am.
I think Poonam, you are right, Dr. Poonam. I think we can ask the questions, discussions at the end of the session, not in between.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, sure.
Rekha, I think she has left.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe she joined again.
Yes, ma'am. She must be trying to join. Miss Rekha, join.
I think we can wait for 1 minute and call the next presenter.
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
This is the one thing which we have no control.
They are out of our control.
Yeah. Everything has some positive and the negative effects. So online teaching learning mode has, I think it has helped a lot side also. So we have to bear this also.
And it makes us more patient also.
Yeah.
So you may please call upon the next participant. Next.
Okay, okay, ma'am. So, Mr. Narendra Singh Rana, Professor Vandana Goswami, Rajasthan. Their topic is inculcating life skills, a key solution for teasing. Mr. Narendra Singh Rana.
Mr. Naren, may I request you to please turn on your camera?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Am I visible?
No, you have not turned in. No? You need to turn in. Camera is there at the bottom. Okay, it says that you cannot turn on your camera while sharing through your phone. It says so. I think there is something that I could see on your phone.
Yes, ma'am. I cannot say.
Okay, you
Okay.
please continue.
Okay. Okay. Good morning to all. First of all, thank you for providing me the opportunity, sir. And just a minute. And my topic is inculcating life solution for teacher educator teaching. Myself, I am a research scholar from Banasthi Vidyapeeth, and the paper is co-authored with Professor Vandana Goswami, Dean, Banasthi Vidyapeeth.
नरेंद्र, आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है. If you can increase your volume little bit.
Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
You're audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Please share your screen.
Okay. So the topic of creating life skills, a key solution for teacher-educator freezing. Just here is a brief intro. What am I going to present? Because the quality of shapes the academic growth and intellectual advancement of a nation. Is determined by the of education we imparted to them. It can bring the changes in knowledge, skills, attitude, aptitude, and all the things around us. So, in the growth of civilization is of great significance and according to Indian Education Commission 1964-66 find that all different factors which influence the quality of education contribution to national development, the quality, competence, and character of teachers are the topmost person in the professional pyramid is the teacher. And what is the educator raising in these lines? The overall underused, used, and stagnated intellectual, psychological, social, physical potentialities of teacher educator are termed as teacher educators. Here are three stages of raising. The first one is loss of enthusiasm. The teacher educators and standards are strong in the beginning, with the to reduce opportunities for professional growth, lack of infrastructure, and others. The teacher educators get proper response and feedback from students, which ultimately lead to loss of results. Second one is frustration. Factors like apparent in the class, students and non-helpful guardians, compensation, etc. are responsible for frustration among students. Next one is alienation. Alienation is another thing, which is a reaction or outcome of incapacity, loss of enthusiasm for one's work. It is impacted by the absence of help. The dimensions of teaching. First one is intellectual. The areas of teaching, research, and evaluation. Next one is psychological. Include those which deals with teachers' unwilling attitude to accept changes, new methods and technique in teaching and learning. Next one is social. Human relations that teacher has developed with his administration and with his students. Next one is physical dimension. This and participation. Next one is moral. This area includes teachers' sense practice in developing certain moral values among his students. Life skills. As a dictionary of the definition of life skill is the ability to deal with stress and challenges in daily life. decisions, problem solving, planning, etc. WHO and challenges of everyday life. The world bodies as UNICEF, UNESCO, WHO, they gave 10 core life skills as self-awareness, empathy, effective communication, interpersonal relationships, creative thinking, critical thinking, problem solving, logical decision making, coping with emotions, and coping with stress. Now, life skill. Why is life skill? First one is life abilities help teacher educator to transit emotional skills. It helps in the improvement of social competence, problem solving skills, helps teacher educator to shape their very own identity. It helps to weigh situation and act as a mediator to trouble behavior. It promotes that has an impact on the teacher educator health service, colleagues, and family. Improvement of and teaches anger control. Here are some benefits of life skill among teacher educators. Educational benefits, social and cultural benefits. Educational benefits, strength, teacher and pupil school, reduces teaching issues such as teacher absenteeism. Social benefits such as bearing on the others on a friendly way, keep away from risk. Health benefits lead to prevention and control of diseases. Human beings to understand and preserve meaningful cultural practices and that may also themselves and others at risk. Economic benefits, it leads to excessive productivity due to a motivated, steady, and full of the light labor force. Resources such as time and money are saved as inexperienced persons collect skills to manipulate themselves and their environment. Individual benefits find a way to wondering and problem solving. Benefits for societies, respecting variety, approve creativity and creativeness to flourish, growing an extra tolerant society. Promotion of life skill among teacher educators. Awareness building requires organizing outreach activities to interact with decision makers, opinion leaders, media people, curriculum developers, teacher trainers, teachers, and parents. Some more suitable activities such as increased use of media, including electronic media and interaction with interested target groups can be very useful strategies. Now I am concluding this. Life skills are very useful for the adjustment in society. These are skills that motivate even more individuals to behave in a healthy way if they wish to do so and have the scope or opportunity to do so. These skills not only enhance self-image but also help to improve interpersonal relationships with the sense of physical and mental well-being. It promotes physical health, positive health, and social attitudes. It also prevents mental disorders and behavior problems, as well as avoids health problems. Life skills can improve the bonds between the family and the group of people. An adequate level of life skill in teacher educators, like great self-awareness and better self-management, is required, which reduces the chances of impulsive action. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rana, for developing our understanding on teacher-educator freezing. This was a new concept. And also sharing with us its dimensions and stages. We also touched upon the topic of life skills. It was very enriching. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Good presentation. So, Ria, Rekha has joined or not?
Ma'am, she's finding some problem in joining. So I have mentioned that she can join later. We will allow her to continue.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So, Ria, yeah. So, Ria, you can call the next one.
Yes, sure, ma'am. Nikhil.
Yes, ma'am. Now we would like to invite Dr. Chitra Khurana from DEET Pitampura, Delhi, for the discussion. Her topic of research is understanding and building a mental health and positive psychology. We welcome you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Nikhil. The educationist present here. I am Dr. Chitra Khurana, Assistant Professor in District Institute of Educational Training, Delhi. I would like to extend my warm greetings to the chairperson of the session, Dr. Anjali Shears, Dr. Poonam Sharma, and Ms. Bhageshwari. And I would coordinators for accepting my paper and inviting me to present it here in this conference. So, not taking much my screen with you all. I'll be talking about teacher resilience today. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll be talking about teacher resilience, and the title of my building teacher resilience, a mental health and positive psychology perspective. Well, this is a conceptual paper. I had done research, and this paper has been culled out from there only. So before I proceed with teacher resilience, its meaning and how to build it, I would like to discuss the background paper has been written. Well, we all as teachers very that teaching is a profession that involves a very intense and long-term commitment. Teachers. It makes many demands upon the mental health of teachers. Know that working in is both exciting and demanding. Teachers have to play many roles simultaneously. In an interpersonally oriented environment, nature of work can be there are we have relationships with students, with their heads of institutes, and with community as well. So these intensity of these relationships is sometimes a significant source and stress for teachers. So the research has shown that teachers, young and old, are increasingly reporting feelings of monotony, tedium, and even apathy in their jobs. And there has been deterioration in the quality of teaching, increasing dissatisfaction among the teaching community. There have been reports, where teachers are making efforts to leave the profession. And most importantly, there has been a dehumanized perception of students among teachers. So all these is a matter of great concern. The available literature on teacher stress and burnout has almost confirmed that teaching is a stressful occupation. So, with this background, I would like to share with you that where this background has emerged from. Well, in the last 2 to 3 decades, there has been a shift in the approach to mental health. It has moved from an illness and disease perspective to a well-being one. The preventive promotional dimensions of mental health are being more emphasized now than ever before than the curative ones. So this is how it is embedded in the realm of mental health, and how does it find connection with positive psychology? I would like to throw some also. So inherent is that there will always be stressors and experiences of depression and emotional exhaustion in teachers' lives. But in time, there are also a vast range of experiences which teachers possess and strategies which enable them to become resilient to such stress and burnout. So the need to build and promote does emerge as an anticipatory imbued in the preventive and promotional approach. Here at this point, I would like to bring your attention to what Professor brought out in a discussion keynote address yesterday. Having two human beings within one, we all live in two worlds. The one is the world with professional identities, in which I may be a very successful teacher. This inner subjective where I experience thing, and this self might be poles apart. There is no identity and self. So Professor Namita Ranganathan pointed there is a need to bring congruence to. So here comes the roles of positive psychology. So there's what is the need of the hour is to shift focus from stress and burnout to resilience and evolve techniques of building and promoting teacher resilience. Capacity of resilience enables teachers to respond positively and provides a promising opportunity to understand how they sustain their motivation and commitment in the times of adversity. Okay, so with that background, I would like to now touch upon the main construct, that is the resilience. So I have quoted Confucius, and this quote itself sums up the meaning of resilience. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. So basically, resilience is a person's ability and potential to bounce back to a normal state of functioning during difficult times. It refers to patterns of positive adaptation during or following adversity or risk. Maston defines it as successful adaptation despite risk and adversity. There are now just to throw some more light on the construct of resilience so that it is understood by all. There are a few characteristics of resilience. First of all, it is not innate. It is not that I am born with some resilience and you are not. It is developmental in nature. It is dynamic in nature. It develops and manifests itself as a result of dynamic processes that operate within a given context. Two types of interactions are important here. One is the interaction between the individual and his milieu, that is the social environment. The interaction between the individual and his social environment decides what level of resilience that person will develop. Similarly, when we talk of resilience, we talk of risk factors and protective factors. The interaction between these two factors also is a crucial underpinning for developing and fostering resilience. Another important point is that it does not remain static in an individual. It can increase or decline in the same individual at different times, depending upon the interactions that are taking place between the individual and his environment, and at the same time between the risk factors and the protective factors. So, a bit more about risk factors, protective factors, and positive adaptation, which are the key words associated with resilience. The risk factors are those traits or characteristics, either in an individual or in his environment, that pose a threat to his normal functioning. I'll be coming to what risk factors are there in teacher resilience. Likewise, protective factors are those factors that enhance my ability to be resilient and help me in being more resilient. So there is a constant interplay of, there is a interaction between risk factors and protective factors. And when this interplays, the individual positively adapts to the situation. That is when he displays or manifests resilience. If we talk in the context of education, teacher resilience. Resilience in teachers is affected by interaction. Again, the interaction is very important. Now here the interaction is among professional and situations that work in tandem to impact teachers' efforts to sustain their professional commitment despite circumstances. Personal and professional lives is what constitutes resilience. Okay, so I hope resilience and teacher resilience is clear. So we all are teachers, and the research has also identified these risks with respect to teacher resilience, which could be heavy workload, it could be it could be student indiscipline, it could be resources and lack of support. Major risk factors which have been identified in the research, there are protective factors with respect to teacher resilience, personal attributes of teachers such as being optimistic, having an attitude, being emotionally intelligent, being intrinsically motivated, being flexible, acquisition of coping skills. The teachers or individuals certain coping skills and become resilient. So the important underpinning here is that resilience can be fostered and cultivated. It is not innate, it is not something that one is born with, it can be fostered. And then the other type of protective factors could be in the environment or the social milieu of the environment. It could be administrative support and peer support. Okay, so the model that emerges, there are various models, but the basic model of resilience that emerges is that, so in every individual's life, there are certain risk factors, there are certain protective factors. There is a constant interaction between the two. Sometimes risk factors might change into protective factors. Sometimes protective factors might change into risk factors. And the interaction leads to positive adaptation. The protective factors directly lead to positive adaptation, which ultimately leads to development of resilience. Okay, so now I would like to, as I mentioned earlier, that resilience, acquisition of certain coping skills can help in building resilience. So if we try to connect coping and resilience, resilience is an individual's predisposition to cope with stress and adversity. Now this coping may result, now these 2 points are important. This coping may result in a way that there could be two things. Either the individual bounces back to a previous state of normal functioning, or he may not show any negative effects. Now see, if the person is bouncing back, that means he has already been stressed and burnt out, right? But then if the individual is not showing any negative effect in this situation, so that means the second situation is a better one, right? More resilience is being displayed there because the person did not let the situation affect him or her, and there was no stress, there were no negative effects despite the situation being adverse. So these two connotes how resilience and coping take place, right? The paper itself talks about understanding and building teacher resilience. So to build teacher resilience, we need to have certain coping strategies. Now, these could be, of course, at individual level, there have to be coping strategies which have to be adopted by the individual. At the same time, role of organization is very important. Their organization can take organization or departments can take certain steps that can help teachers build resilience. So I'll be discussing these in the few next slides. Okay, so coping strategies to build teacher resilience at the individual level, I have categorized them into 4 categories. They could be behavioral coping strategies, which involve a change in our work attitude or behaviors. Then there could be cognitive coping strategies, which involve mental restructuring and having a realistic viewpoint of the situation. Then there are certain lifestyle management strategies, and then there are certain psychosocial coping strategies which talk about our social connectedness, right? So some of the behavioral coping strategies that I have listed could be having realistic goal orientation. Due to lack of time, I am not going into details of each of these strategies, and I think they are self-explanatory, most of them. So I'm just reading it out. Having realistic goal orientation, time management, then being organized, being flexible, adaptable, and open to change, being informed, being able to address one's dissatisfaction problems at work, being constructive and productive, delegating responsibility, keep growing personally and professionally. I'm sorry, it's professionally, it's not written correctly here. And then being disciplined. Similarly, some of the coping strategies could be self-awareness. One should be aware of one's positives and negatives. Then there should be some self-reflection and introspection. Then there has to be some rationalization, cognitive restructuring, having a positive attitude, counting your blessings, inculcating a sense of humor, inculcating an attitude of magnanimity. And this COVID pandemic has, I think, conveyed this lesson to all of us very beautifully. And the next is being optimistic and hopeful and being passionate about and loving your work. Then some of the lifestyle management strategies talk about bringing about some changes in our lifestyle so that there are no instances of stress, or if at all they are there, they could be lessened. So learning the importance of good nutrition, because maintaining good physical health is very important. When exercising, remaining physically active, having adequate rest and sleep, practicing yoga, meditation, having one's own cathartic techniques, indulging in relaxation activities, indulging in recreational activities, indulging in leisure time, and having an active lifestyle. And the last category is psychosocial coping strategies. It talks about our social connectedness. So we need to nurture the relationships. We need to have effective communication. We need to learn to say no. We can ask for help. We must connect with a cause or with the community. Then building a support system for yourself, creating a healthy, balanced social life, taking time out during the day, trying to change what you can, and accepting that cannot be changed. So after the most can do at level to build resilience among them. But when you are in an institution, the role of organization becomes equally important. So what can organization departments do to build and nurture resilience among teachers? The very important thing is to nurture relationships. When you are in an institute, cared for, so you automatically belong to it, and you then identifying shared institutional strengths, supportive social milieu, and then there should be appropriate accessibility to meet, plan, and discuss with the heads. So these are strategies. So with that, I end my presentation, and thank you all. Thank you once again. And before I end, I would just like to mention that I have a special connection with Bharati Vidya Bhavan. I thought I could mention that. In past 2 years, I did few courses in astrology and Vastu from there. So when this advertisement came, I was very sure I wanted to, write a paper. And I was so happy when the topic concerned my area only, positive psychology. And one more thing before I end it, just one more minute. I would, since I mentioned Professor Namita Ranganathan, I would like to thank her and express my gratitude on this platform for her once again, because my research on teacher resilience was, supported by the great motivation and support behind that work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, no, I just was sharing that Dr. Chetan did a good paper.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Positive psychology is core to teaching and learning process. I agree. Thank you for quite worthy lending our ears and here.
Thank you, dear.
Our next presenter, we have Professor Nilesh D. Joshi from KCES College of Education and their research topic is a comparative study of the state of psychology players and non-players down district. You are welcome.
Thank you so much, everyone, for giving me this opportunity. Just sharing my screen. My screen is visible. Hello?
No, ma'am, it's not.
Just a second.
Ma'am, actually it was visible earlier, but अभी ये फिर से कुछ change problem आया है इसमें.
Okay.
Are you going to show through your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, there is some network issue on your part.
Actually, I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay. Is your partner be able to show your screen? Okay, Pooja ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I can help you. You please share your presentation with me, then I
Okay,
will
ma'am.
present it from here.
Okay, ma'am. I will.
My email ID is, please mention. I'm writing in the chat.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, it's fine now. I think Mr. Nilesh is showing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Okay, I'm starting with my subject. My name is Pooja Sasgani. I'm a student in KS College Education and Physical Education in Jalgaon. My co-author name is Nilesh Doshi, Assistant Professor, KS College of Education and Physical Education, Jalgaon. Our research topic is a comparative study of the state of psychological well-being between players and non-players of Jalgaon district. Next. Next slide. Introduction. Positive psychology is the scientific study of what makes life most worth living. While not attempting a strict definition of the good life, positive psychologists agree that one must live a happy, engaged, and meaningful life in order to experience the good life. It means we can relate the positive psychology to individual state of happiness. Next. Happiness is very important aspect of everyone's life, and for that reason in July 2011 the UN adopted resolution on happiness toward a holistic definition of development, which adopted both national happiness instead of GDP as nation mean development indicator. The GN having different 9 aspects: living standard, education, health, environment, community, vitality, use, psychological well-being, good governance, and cultural resolution and promotions. Next. The researcher decided to study on factor from above list, and that psychological well-being, because during this pandemic, psychological aspect an important role to live stress-free and next. Objectives. To find state of well-being in following categories: college going players and non-girls, team event players and individual event players, among according to graduation stream. Next. Hypothesis. There is significant difference found in state of psychological well-being between college-going non-players, college-going boys and girls, team event players only, and college-going students according their graduation stream, that is BA, BCom, and BSc. Next, delimitations and limitations. Delimitations. The study was delimited to college-going students only. Limitations. The factors like current psychological state, stress level, etc. The sincere response to questionnaires by sample. Next. Methodology. For the present study, 154 colleges going players and non-players were selected for Jalgaon district. The sample were divided between further categories, that is, boys and girls, team event players and individual event players, among players and graduation stream wise. The selected questionnaires scale of psychological well-being was circulated through Google Form with proper instructions to college-going students. Variables, independent variables, scale of psychological well-being, dependent variables, sample response. Next. Result. The player min is 88.94, non-player min is 88.3, boys min is 87.96, girls 89.54, individual event players min is 91.08, team event players 87.92, BA stream min is 89.70, BCom 94.27, and last one BSc min is 87.8. Next. Hypothesis testing. Researchers were set the 4 null hypotheses and first 3 hypotheses were accepted according to t-test value were founding significant at 0.05 level. That is, college-going players and non-players, boys and girls, team event players and individual event players, among players only. Last hypothesis was rejected according to F-test value, which founding significant difference at 0.05 level in college-going students according their graduation stream, that is BA, BCom, and BSc. Conclusion. So, with the reference of above results, we were concluded this research with the following findings. College-going players, non-players, boys and girls are having equal state of psychological well-being when compared to each other. But college-going students, according their graduation stream, that is BA, BCom, and BSc, having difference in state of psychological well-being when compared to each other. It means the peak period of our young age, that is college life, affecting more than any other variable on our psychological well-being state. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pooja, for reflecting on the comparative study of the well-being of girls and boys. It was really very enriching. Thank you so much. Anjali ma'am, would you like to add some comments?
Yeah, it's a good presentation. I will ask at the end of the session.
Sure, ma'am. Proceeding further, do we have Ms. Rekha Bagra ma'am with us? She got disconnected.
Okay.
I think she had the right to rejoin because I did not get any request from her.
Yes,
She's
ma'am.
not-
She's not here. And you please call the name of first presenter, Mr. Ashok.
Mr. Alok Kumar.
Alok Kumar.
Mr. Alok Kumar. We have.
I don't know his name. Okay then, you please come.
Okay, so the house is now open for discussion. Anyone wanting to ask questions, you are requested to please raise your hand and name the presenter that you are addressing.
So I think there are no questions.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask one question from Dr. Chitra Khurana.
Okay. Yes, you can.
Dr. Chitra Khurana, are you here?
She is here only. Dr. Chitra, are you there? Dr. Chitra. She is not able to listen.
Okay, Riya, so Riya, I think you have to wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, if there are no questions, so now may I can ask?
Ma'am, you may please continue.
Okay. So, thank you for giving. So, first of all, I want to ask the question to Miss Pooja. She was the last. Miss Pooja?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, congratulate you for the successful completion of your this research study, that is the comparative the state of psychological well-being, and you have make the comparison of players and non-players.
Yes, ma'am.
First thing which come in your mind when you are choosing the why you have chosen the players and players, any specific reason for? अच्छा, मैं पूजा आपसे ये पूछना चाह रही हूँ कि आप
योर क्वेश्चन मैं हिंदी में बताती हूँ कि मैं डीप में बता सकूं, इसलिए एक्चुअली मैम जब हमने तय किया कि कौन सा सब्जेक्ट डिसाइड करेंगे, तो नॉर्मली जब हम साइकोलॉजी का व्हेन वी आर थिंकिंग अबाउट साइकोलॉजी, तब हमें ऐसा लगता है कि हम प्लेयर्स से ऑल प्लेयर्स आर वेरी स्ट्रांग अबाउट साइकोलॉजी, वो बहुत स्ट्रांग होते हैं जब, क्योंकि वो मतलब हर परेशानी को आसानी से हैंडल करते हैं। लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि नॉर्मल जो लड़के और लड़कियां होते हैं वो भी मेंटली बहुत प्रिपेयर रहते हैं प्रॉब्लम के लिए, बहुत स्ट्रांग रहते हैं। तो इसलिए हमने तय किया कि हम देखते हैं कि प्लेयर्स ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है मेंटली या नॉर्मल जो बॉयज गर्ल्स है या नॉर्मल पीपल है वो ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है। इसलिए हम प्रूव कर सके कि अगर प्लेयर्स का मूड ज्यादा आता है तो वी आर वेरी स्ट्रांग कंपेयर टू अदर पीपल। इसलिए हमने ये सब्जेक्ट चूज किया था कि इफ हमें अच्छा पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट मिलता है तो हमें समझ में आएगा कि प्लेयर्स इज स्ट्रांग एज कंपेयर टू अदर पीपल। दैट्स व्हाई वी आर सिलेक्टिंग दिस सब्जेक्ट।
यस, सो गुड पूजा। कि जो लोग, जो बच्चे जो खेलते हैं, जो खेलते कूदते हैं, तो उनका जो रहता है थोड़ा सा, और उस जिससे कि उनको पॉजिटिव वाइब्स भी आती है।
यस मैम।
बात करते हैं तो वो हमारा पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी या पॉजिटिव एजुकेशन। बस एक चीज और बताइए बेटा, कहीं पर ये लिखा हुआ था हाइपोथेसिस को N लिखा हुआ था, so
Yes,
basically hypothesis is written as H not N, है ना? और तो वो तो it's okay, but ये मुझे लगा कि I should point it is not N0, it is always H0.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Good. Yes.
Ma'am, if you please.
Yeah.
Don't take it otherwise, Miss Pooja. Are you a sports person? I think that you are a sports person. Great to see you. I look forward for the that you have done in your test, in your research paper. I did not find. I know that you have to choose test and all.
Yes.
But it was not mentioned that how did you how did you choose techniques? What are the ways? Can you please let me know about it?
हाँ, yes, ma'am.
आपने टी टेस्ट ही क्यों चूज किया? अच्छा, कंपैरेटिव स्टडी है इसलिए?
वो
अच्छा।
कंपैरिजन करना था, इसलिए हम इसका इस्तेमाल किया.
अच्छा, तो उसके लिए कौन सी सैम्पलिंग यूज की थी?
Actually, sir is giving you answer that question.
I thought it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I request you to please delve into it. हाँ, थोड़ा सा और deep dive करके देखिए. What is the major difference between the delimitations and the limitations?
Actually, ma'am, मतलब लिमिटेशंस की बात आती है, जो सैंपल लिए थे तब हमें ऐसा हमने क्वेश्चंस ऐसा पता, उससे मेंटालिटी का पता चलता है मैम कि लिमिटेशंस और डिलिमिटेशंस के जब हम हेलो
पूजा, आई थिंक पूजा, जब हम लिमिटेशंस और डिलिमिटेशंस इनिशिएट करना होता है तो कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती है, एक कंट्रोल जो होता है ना कि लाइक whatever we can control or what we can't control, like we set some boundaries and some boundaries are out of control. So in this context, can you differentiate limitations and delimitations? Exactly, because answer yahi hai.
Yes, you are really navigating her in a nice way. Fine, ma'am. Actually, please don't take it otherwise, because there are so many persons who just want to learn something from these papers. That's why these questions have been asked.
Yes.
Okay.
And the methodology of the study, that is what is the population size and where is the sample size and how you have chosen the sample from the population. So you know that there are certain types, like your some probability sampling is there, non-probability is there. So what kind or the non-probability sampling you have used? So you should mention that, because that is and what kind of doing. So these things. Okay, and don't take it otherwise, as already told. So this is for giving you suggestions, so that in future, whenever you write a paper, these things.
Okay, ma'am, definitely. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. Chitra? Dr. Chitra, you are here?
Here.
Okay, Dr. Chitra. So, we really liked your paper, which building teacher resilience, mental health, psychological perspectives there. So, and I think when we talk about the mental, this is mental very closely psychology also. So I just want to ask, can you any strategy which is highly needed in the present scenario? Because we are struggling a lot. There are so many issues. Even we as teachers, we are all learners, and no doubt the students, they are the say of this system. So can you suggest really needed at this hour? Because you have talked about so many strategies.
The idea of the presentation was this only, and I chose the topic deliberately because I think it is even, resilience is the are. This pandemic, has taught us to be resilient, and we need to bounce back. Otherwise, we'll fall into the trap of negativity and hopelessness. So, if you ask me for one or two strategies, I would say having a positive attitude is one, and then having a sense of gratitude. So much has happened in the world, but then I need to look into my life and check what is right with me. I can, always have a comparative outlook that, okay, people have lost their jobs, but I did not. People fell sick, people died. This is not to say that, So, but I can see what is going right in my life. That is what the whole premise of the paper was. We have to look at what is going right instead of finding faults and looking at what is not right. So this kind of self introspection is required, and then the second and the most important one is to accept what cannot be changed. Something pandemic is, everyone, the medical fraternity and all the stakeholders are trying their best, to get over this as soon as possible. But when we realize that situation is not in our hands, so accepting it and doing the best that can be done in such times for my and my people who are in my vicinity, for their welfare. So that kind of attitude I have to develop. I cannot pinpoint this is the strategy, these 2-3 strategies will work. This is an attitude and outlook which will develop with time and with practice. We'll need to discuss about this.
I think these are the essential things for good.
Right.
So
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Ma'am, Chitra, there is one student who asked a question to you. Could you please-
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you were talking about the resilience and how schedule. So, ma'am, I wanted to ask you that supposing there is a child and he was a family member. So, ma'am, these little children, they do not understand their emotions and what is resilience. For a child to build resilience.
Yeah, very good question, Riya. Very thought-provoking. I appreciate you asking this to me. See, very right. See, you remember I talked about risk factors and protective factors in my presentation. So I restricted myself to the field of education. If we talk of resilience in general terms, losing one's parents, then having, losing someone close to you, these are risk factors in our lives. We all experience such risk factors. So the child is having some risk factor, and if the child is not in that stage and age where he is mentally, grown up and emotionally stable, then there comes the role of his environment and social milieu. So again, the interaction, those interactions are very important. So people, adults who are taking care of him, his parents, or I'm sorry, you said he lost his parents. I mean, other adults who are in his vicinity, their role becomes important, and if even that is not the case, then there are chances for emotional disturbances, and again, the child might experience mental health issues and problems if the situation is not taken care of. So that is why if there is a supportive adult in this child's life, so there will be interaction between this individual and that adult, so he's understanding from this interaction with his social environment how to build resilience. This is how it will work in that case.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for asking the question.
So Narendra, next we have the Narendra Rana. You are here. Narendra Rana. I think
I think he's not here.
Okay. Rekha. Next, Rekha.
She has not joined again.
Okay. Chetna,
I think your idea could work. Can you ask question earlier?
it's okay.
So,
No, we can. We have to cope up with the situation. So, Chetna, are you here? Chetna, Sachin, any you? It's okay then.
okay.
So I first of all, that congratulate to all the presenters who have presented papers. And yes, there are I should not say the word, should not use the word negative here for the conference, which titled as the positive psychology, or we are talking about the education. Yes, but say that also which I want to give you for all the presenters. Like the all presenters mostly focuses on, except one paper, the last one that was I think Pooja's paper. So rest of the papers, they are like conceptual papers. So when we talk about these kind of presentations, when we have to present the paper, so we should focus on like something which is related with the research. Like if research is not always that is done on the ground also. So it is done like meta-analysis, cognitive analysis, you can do that. On the basis of that, you can state some findings, like somebody who have done the research, what he or she found in his researches, so that can be stated. So simply reading text or simply reading the lines is not, I'm not saying it's a kind of the presentation. So my suggestion to all the participants. And next, I just want to conclude about the theme, that is the positive psychology. So I congratulate to all the faculty members on this topic, which is the the you can say the struggling in one or in the another way. So at this moment, at this time, positive education, this is very much required. So very well chosen topic. Who has taken lead in organizing this conference. Dr. Gitika is here or not? Or maybe she may be busy in a lot of work.
She was there. She just left 5 minutes back.
So please convey my message that like this the theme of the conference, and I too much time in only 5 minutes. I just want to conclude. I just want to share. I think about the positive education. Basically, when we talk about this comes from, you can say, the positive psychology, that and the mental support of you can say of all the person. We as a team, we have to set up a positive education environment in the college setup. Like there's a one famous, happy teacher leads to happy children. So when class hoga, happy hoga. So this means ki, when we positive education, so it was defined by an American psychologist who positive psychology as a scientific study goes like from birth to death, and you can say all the stops in between, like some feel like now the life has stopped. So basically positive in that particular situation, and that can happen only when when we talk about, so positive education जो है, that should be in our roots only. And there are so many things which you can say, I just want to tell one model, the PARMA model. I don't know, many of you must have seen is suggested for the education, which PARMA, this piece for the positive emotions, like feeling you can say the feeling of gratitude. Abhi hum baat bhi kar rahe the, somebody has talked about the gratitude, that we should have the gratitude, we should have the interest, the satisfaction, hope, and many more things which are related with the positive emotions. So and the next one is E, that is PARMA. The second word is E, that is engagement. Engagement in, we have to be very much engaged in the various activities so that our mind is not focused on only one thing. If we are engaged in so many things, if we are doing we are practicing the various skills and we are engaging ourselves and the students, so I think that will make us more energized. We can say we are fully involved in that thing and we can enjoy the process of that, you can say, activities. So the engagement is also very much required in the positive positive education. Then R is your positive relationship. The third word, R, it means positive relationship. Here, when we talk about the positive relationship, we mean to say that we should be positive in all the aspects. Whenever we want to connect with others, we should always show our gratitude. We should always support our, you can say, the family members, friends, our teachers, our the students, our peers. So that gives, you can say, specific satisfaction. And with that, the satisfaction makes us happy. So this is also one essential component which is suggested in the PARMA model. Then the next word comes with M. M stands for meaning. Meaning here means what here meaning suggests that we could define it like as that finding a signal. Like if say I'm taking the negative aspect, whenever some negative, that also we think about that something positive is also there. Whatever are the experiences, from all the experiences, we learn something, and I think this in this way we can say that important component, and it is found also that it is related with the happiness, greater happiness, more motivation we have, the more you can say we are highlighted in doing the things. We have the, you can say, maximum potential for doing that work. So I think essential component. Then the last one is A, that's so accomplishment here means that it is very geared towards the individual potential to achieve the meaningful outcomes. Like it can include your, which you can say specific goals, which can be measurable, which can be achieved, which are the realistic goals. Those goals should be achieved. So accomplishment is also a thing which gives us very much satisfaction. Model which is suggested by an American scientist for the positive education is very much the scenario. And now in very latest, I think in 2015, one more word is added, that is H. So now PARMA model is PARMA model. So one H is also added, which is you can say, which stands for the health, because we can't ignore the health. It's an essential part of the well-being, which covers various aspects like sleep, the exercises, that what kind of diet we are taking, what kind of exercises we are doing, whether we have sound sleep or not. So these things are also very much related for, you can say, be positive. So, so I think in 2000, this PARMA model was suggested, and this H is later on added, I think, in 2015. So this PARMA model is very much important for, you can say, for the positive psychology. When we talk about the positive psychology, so we have to be focused on the positive education, that how we can impart the positive education in the present scenario. So by these words, so I just want to end my views, because there, if we talk a lot, so we have so much things to talk. But now I just want to end my words here. And I again congratulate and also thanks to Leelavati College for giving me an opportunity to chair this session. I really enjoyed and really liked different views which are suggested by the different presenters. So